Seniors, episode 44. This is the 25th of January, 2021. Welcome, everybody. I want to thank everyone for coming today. It's nice to see 100 people. Wow, with more over on our streaming side. Thank you for all those of you who are over. I keep looking behind me because I've got my other monitor set up for the streaming service. So it's nice to see people watching us as well on the streaming side. For those of you who are new to the show, just to let you know that those of you who are in the Zoom meeting, we will be going on till, of course, for an hour, and then we have our question and answer. For those of you who are over on the live streaming side, we will be doing the show for about 50 minutes. Then we sign off, and we will be going on to Ray's music and the question and answer, and that's not broadcast. However, you can watch the tape version, and we had about 110 people watch last week of our Tech for Senior last week's show, and that is, of course, recorded, and it is published on YouTube. We do send that out. We send our newsletter out twice a week. On Tuesday, I send it out to everyone with the link for our show. And then, of course, Saturday, you get the newsletter, which is a reminder about Monday's meeting. Hewie, where would you find the newsletter? How would you sign up to our newsletter if you wanted to get a newsletter? How would you do that?
You go to techforsenior.com.
You would.
And there's a place there where you sign up for it.
Exactly. So if you haven't done that already, please do that so that we can keep you keep the information flowing. You'll get all the updates, and of course the link to our live streaming YouTube section. So that's great. So well, it was a great week. We had a lot happen this last week. We're pretty busy, weren't we, Hewie?
Absolutely. And again this week too.
Yeah. So we did, well, we'll talk about that in a minute, but you're going to be busy. But we did learning Chromebooks, which was really great, eh? Lots of people showed up.
Yes, we had a good crowd online, and a lot of people have watched the video on the channel as well.
Yeah. So, and again, if you want to sign up for next month, please just do that and sign up, and we'll send you the link, and we will talk about Chromebooks, which was always fun to talk about. Hewie, you have a busy week this week.
Yes, I certainly do. And I see Eric is on here this afternoon. I'm presenting to a group in Arizona about Chromebooks. And then tomorrow morning, I'm going to break a record this week. In my nearly 80 years, I've never spent an evening or night at a hospital. And this week, it's going to change. I'm having a new valve put in my heart, a new aortic valve. And so tomorrow is pre-op. Wednesday is when they do it. And they say by noon on Wednesday, I should be sitting up in a chair and eating lunch. And by Friday, I should be home.
Hey, Hewie, will it oink for you? Is it a pig valve or a new synthetic valve?
No, it's a cow.
Wow.
They have a choice between a cow and a pig, depending upon how they have to do it, how they have to stretch it and move it around determines which animal they use. And so a cow, so I am now going to be part female. I'm going to have some cow in me. So.
Hey, good luck.
All right. So Hewie, you plan on being here next Monday as well, eh?
Absolutely, and I'll be ready and raring to go.
And by the way, you already are part female, as all males are. It's only the females that are pure female.
Yeah. You just chop off some words, some letters. Yep.
All right. So that's great. And Greg, I might call you this week. I think we're going to have you do a segment next week. Okay.
Dewey?
Yeah.
20,
that's great.
20 years ago this month, I had an aortic valve replacement.
You're still here.
Yeah,
We wish you well, and for sure we'll see you. But I gave you the week off, so you're not doing anything next week. Just come and enjoy
But I'll be here.
meeting.
Yep, I'll be here.
You can actually, I'll give you a job. You can let people in, and you can do Bob's job, because Bob's abandoning us next week, aren't you, Bob?
I can't be in two places at the same time, and I have a presentation to do.
We need to clone you. We need 3 or 4 Bobs.
You'll still have the episode, only I won't be sitting there listening to it. You'll just have to play it for me.
Okay. All right. We'll do that. And then, of course, Ray, did you say you were getting snow up there? What's happening up in the mountains?
We have about 6 inches so far. It's coming down really heavy now, and the forecast is over 20 by the time it ends sometime tomorrow.
Very
But
interesting.
if
Yes.
it sticks to like it normally does, the temperatures in the next couple of days will be up in the 50s, and it'll melt, and I don't have to get the shovel out.
All right, good. And Dewey, what's happening down in at Silveridge? It's not snowing there, is it?
No, but it's kind of a stinking cold day. It's about 45, 46 degrees with on and off rain for the next several days.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
All
the
right,
usual
well-
great weather.
All right, good. All right, well, thanks. We're going to talk to Dewey a little bit later. Thanks everyone for coming today, as I mentioned. Now, just have a few things I want to say. Oh, by the way, the big reveal. Yes, I did get the equipment I want. And yes, I am going to make the big announcement. I know that Bob and Hewie haven't been able to sleep for a while, and they're all upset and they're stressed out about, what I've got, but I do have some equipment I'm going to show you guys later. But I did want to, just before we get there, I do want to share my screen, because there's a couple of things that I want to just talk to you guys about. All right. There's some big announcements this week that came out, and you heard it from me. This is the one that I want to talk about. So many of you have heard me talk about saving your life with wearable technology. And there's part 1 and part 2. And 2 years ago, when I wrote the program and I started talking about it, I said, you watch. I said, the blood sugar monitoring is coming on the watch. And this morning, this was published out in the Apple Watch Series 7, rumored to have future blood sugar monitoring. So they don't put the rumors out unless it's going to happen. So the Apple Watch Series 7, the next version, will have bloodless blood sugar monitoring, most assuredly. And I predicted that 2 years ago. So I was right. Hey, that's pretty cool. Anyway, that is going to be really interesting. Now, lots more to talk about that, but this was the first article that I saw of this coming out. And I saw it this morning and I thought, ha. So now the other thing that I want everyone to remember is this. Is Apple stock closed at an all-time high this last week. But I'm going to tell you, if that blood sugar in Apple Series 7 comes, the stock's going to triple. So I've already told you guys this 2 years ago. I said, if you want some financial advice, I said, buy Apple stock. Those of you who did have made some money, and it's now at an all-time high, but it's going to double or triple, I am sure, once that blood sugar hits the market, because it's going to change the way we diagnose, the way we manage diabetes. And the last thing before we move on here was very interesting, and we're going to talk a little bit about this maybe next week because we'll have lots of time. I want to talk about heart rate variability, HRV. Now, those of you who have an Apple Watch and have or have the Fitbit Sense like I do, or I think the Samsung Galaxy 3 does this as well. It measures what we call the heart rate variability. Now, this researcher at the Mount Sinai Hospital used the Apple Watch, and he used the HRV recording on the watch to predict very accurately whether or not you had COVID-19. Now, the interesting thing about this is, and we'll talk about this maybe next week when we get into this a bit more, but most people, when they've looked at this before, have done, you know, your oxygen saturation, your pulse, your temperature, and those sort of things that the watch measures. This is different. They just use this HRV. And if you've got one of the watches, you look at it, and it's one of the things they monitor. It's called HRV, and they use the HRV to accurately predict if you had COVID-19. Interesting article, a very interesting article. So lots more to talk on this, but wow, what a lot of technology this week. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Bob, are you ready to go?
Yes, sir. Whoop. Here is the Avast Security News Roundup for the week ending January 22nd, 2021. How law enforcement accesses encrypted data on your phone. Increasingly, law enforcement agencies and lawmakers are asking smartphone developers like Apple and Google to create backdoors into the encryption that protects users' data. But even without them, investigators can access your data. A recent report from the nonprofit Upturn found nearly 50,000 cases where 44 police departments had extracted data from phones, but researchers assume the true total could be much higher. These tools are also being bought to be used in other settings like U.S. schools. The study shows that even if your information is encrypted, so long as someone has physical access to the device, there could still be ways of accessing the encrypted keys using system vulnerabilities, according to the Avast security evangelist Louis Carones. In order to minimize risk and make sure your device is protected against all known vulnerabilities, it's an absolute must to have your system, iOS or Android, updated to the very latest version. Ransomware still affecting Scottish Environment Agency. Since Christmas Eve, the Scottish Environment Protection Agency had lost 1.2 gigabytes of data stolen in a ransomware attack. Even though SEPA's internal systems, contact center, and internal communications have all been affected, the agency is still able to provide flood forecasting and warnings services. SEPA's ongoing attack has been confirmed as likely to be international, serious, and organized cybercrime group intent on disrupting public services and extorting public funds. ZDNet reports that an investigation into the incident is still ongoing. How the SolarWinds attack opened a Microsoft 365 cloud breach. Last month's supply chain attack on Microsoft, Cisco, FireEye, and network management company SolarWinds effectively disabled vital levels of security controls needed to identify and stop the attack. These types of attacks are particularly dangerous because the attacker can pose as anyone in the organization and bypass primary security controls. SC Media describes further details about the 4 separate techniques hackers use and summarizes recommendations for companies to defend against these types of attacks. Trump signs order aimed at thwarting cyber interference. Former President Trump signed an executive order on Tuesday that aims to prevent foreign actors from using cloud computing platforms for malicious cyber interference against the U.S. The order, signed on Trump's last full day in office, directs the Commerce Department to develop rules that require cloud service providers to identify and take action against foreign entities suspected of using the services for malicious cyber-enabled activities. Read more on the story at CNET. Vaccine supply chains are being sped up by the latest tech. The incoming Biden administration has pledged to administer 100 million doses in the next 3 months. But vaccine delivery is nothing like ordering stocks and candy bars, and it certainly isn't easy. Depending on conditions, as soon as the vaccine leaves its freezer containers, a dose can last up to a month to only a few hours. Planning for demand across many locations, schedules, reschedules, and 2 separate visits is no small feat. Computational analytics, like those used in meteorology, manufacturing, or air traffic, are the only way to understand the entire system. But accelerating distribution of the vaccine doesn't stop with analyzing big data. Machine learning is being used to predict shortages, and blockchains are preventing counterfeit attempts. Mobile apps are helping with contract tracing, and AI is forecasting early signs of supply disruption. Read more at ZDNet. And that wraps up this week's Avast Security News Roundup. Stay safe, stay secure. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
No, you won't see us next week. You're going to abandon us.
Wow, that's hitting below the belt.
We'll miss you.
Thanks.
All right. Now, Dewey, you're up. I'll key up. We're going to share the screen, and we'll see what we've got from Dewey this week.
Good morning, friends. This is Dewey, and my Tech Talk topics for today are 0 day in Windows 10 and breaking news on Verizon 3G. Well, last Thursday, the well-known and reliable computer technology and information website, bleepingcomputer.com, reported that an unpatched 0 day in Windows 10 allows attackers to corrupt an NTFS formatted hard drive with a simple one-line command. So what's a 0 day? The answer, my friends, is 0 day, sometimes called the numeral 0-day, is a cyber attack that targets a software vulnerability that is unknown to software or antivirus vendors. In multiple tests done by Bleeping Computer, they found that simple one-line string can be delivered hidden inside a Windows shortcut file or a zip archive or various other ways to trigger hard drive errors that corrupt the NTFS file system index instantly. This vulnerability first became known in the spring of 2018 with the Windows 10 build 1803, dated April 2018, not March. And it continues to work in the latest versions of Windows 10. What's worse, this nasty string can be triggered by standard and low privileged user accounts on Windows 10 systems. I'd like to explain Windows privileged user accounts, but that's probably above my pay grade. Here's an example of this nasty string. Now, this is just an example highlighted in yellow. The important part of that is the part in the middle with the $I30. And I'm going on to read. A drive can be corrupted by merely trying to access the $I30 NTFS attribute on a folder in just a certain way, known to, of course, the bad people. It's unclear why accessing this attribute corrupts the drive. In fact, attempts at finding a way to mitigate this problem have baffled some of the best computer minds. So what's the best defense against this nasty string? Well, the answer is do frequent, even daily backups of your computer's hard drive. If you need to explore backup options, you may recall that our good helper here at TFS, Hewie Poplock, covered this very well in Tech for Seniors episode 34, which was last November 16th. My second topic today is breaking news on Verizon 3G. Yes, I do mean Verizon 3G, and rest assured, I'm not losing it. Verizon has just announced that they are halting plans to shut down their old 3G network. Why Verizon wants to keep an old and expensive network isn't entirely clear, especially since every device they've sold in the last couple of years is 4G LTE or 5G or 5G capable. The COVID-19 pandemic could be an answer since some customers might not be able to afford a new phone. Also, some users may simply prefer their old 3G only devices. A company spokesman went on to say that Verizon would work with these customers to move them to newer 4G LTE cellular devices. Verizon's seeming retro move to keep their old 3G network contrasts with other companies like T-Mobile, Sprint, who now require that their new phone models support voice over LTE, which is known as VoLTE, kind of like VoIP, but this is VoLTE. Voice over LTE also is called HD calling, advanced calling, and on iPhones, it's called HD voice. And it provides superior voice quality and allows the user to browse the internet and use data-driven apps while on a call. Voice over LTE became available with the introduction of 4G and 4G LTE way back in 2015 and is widely used in the cellular industry to this day as the industry moves toward 5G. Verizon also said it will shutter 3G in early 2022. That's about 2 years from now, huh? With an expensive and confusing 5G rollout in progress across the globe, it's obvious that cellular providers will need to sunset older network technologies. Well, that's my Tech Talk story for today, and I'm sticking with it. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and have a great day.
Thanks so much, Dewey. That was great. That was very good. We're going to stay, I'm going to keep my computer shared now because the next video clip I'm going to show you is titled The Hard Working Man. Now, this was sent in to me by someone who's watching our show today, Butch Andronaut. Butch and I are friends, and Butch now, of course, is in Silver Ridge. He sent me this video, and Butch, are you there?
Yep.
Okay, Butch and I are going to talk about this as we play the video. So I'm going to play the video, and I want you to see if you can guess who is in the video that we're recording, or Butch is recording. So here we go, and we're going to play this. It's titled The Hard Working Man. So let's watch this video. Now, Butch, as we watch this video, do you want to tell me, this is obviously a drone footage here. There's a guy with a fancy Cadillac and someone working in the front of his house there. I wonder who that could be. Interesting. Can you tell me about, what are you doing here? You're using a drone? Who makes the drone? Can you tell me about what you're doing?
It's a DJI drone. It's called the Mini 2. It's just a new one that was introduced in November.
That's pretty good quality, eh? Is that the one with the Hasselblad camera?
And that is 1080p. It is capable of 4K too, but just for the sake of a little smaller file, I used 1080.
Is this up at the East Gate when you come in the East Gate?
Yeah, but I wonder who that is we're photographing there.
Dewey, Dewey, Dewey.
Exactly. We're spying on Dewey. How high would you be? How high would you be there, Butch?
I'm probably only about 35, 40 feet there.
Wow.
But
the cars must come pretty close, eh?
Around the park, I usually try to fly at about 100 feet. I figure that should clear all the palm trees.
I'm amazed at how clear it is, though. Are all drones that clear?
No, I've had cheaper drones, but I finally thought I'm going to spend some money and get a better drone just for the picture quality. And it has a 3-axis gimbal. So no matter what maneuvers you're making, the camera always stays level.
Wow. Do you need a license? Do you need to be, are you sort of certified to run this thing or what?
No, I am licensed from an older drone that I had, but this one here is under 250 grams, so it doesn't have to be registered.
That's pretty darn cool.
I tried for a couple days to get Dewey, but one time I was going to, and then he drug out a garden hose, and you can see it still laying there. And I thought that wouldn't be a good idea to sneak up on him while he's holding a garden hose. But I couldn't get his attention.
You have a microphone on there? Can you broadcast something out?
No, I don't. So it's just, you know, if you can hear the, you know, the sound from the drone. And this new drone with its new propellers are really very quiet.
Oh, so do you think you would actually, if someone, Dewey's probably got his, you know, he's listening music or something with ear pods, but if you were sort of walking down the street with your drone, would you actually know someone was above you?
Yeah, if you were close enough, but.
If you're close enough, eh? How much battery, like how long can you fly for?
They advertise the battery is lasting for 30 minutes, but I've probably always quit at about 25. Once it starts beeping a low battery, which is still about 15%, then I quit. But with this one, which is called Fly More Kit, it comes with 3 batteries.
Now this is DJI, I was reading, and this is a very good quality drone, eh?
Yes. And it's
Right.
basically one of their cheapest drones, but the technology has advanced so much that.
Are you going to put the model and information in the chat area?
I can, yes.
It's truly amazing. The other thing, Butch, I was reading about was that you can actually, are you able to lock it onto an object and the drone will follow you? So if you lock it onto your bike or your car, then you can drive along and it will follow behind you and do the video?
This one don't yet, but there is an aftermarket app that you can use instead of the DJI app that will do that. But so far it hasn't been released for the DJI Mini. But I don't know what's going on that this video is jerking. It is on my computer anyway, but it normally don't do that.
Yeah, it's usually pretty sim. Well, that's pretty darn cool. Yeah, so wow. I wonder what's Dewey doing anyway?
I wondered who he buried in that grave that he just dug.
I know, maybe he's got money in there or something. Maybe he's got money for that Cadillac or something.
May I be allowed to defend myself?
No, no.
we had several trees die this last summer because of the heat. And so I had to redo my whole front yard, you know, it's just stone covering. But what had happened was there's so much dirt that had to be removed. I removed about 6 or 7 5-gallon pails of dirt out of that area. And I separated the stone out from the dirt, which is tedious, which is what I'm doing now. But it's all beautiful right now if you'd have a shot of the present moment. So thank you. Anyway, that's all I have to say.
All right, that's good. I think
we're not used to that kind of lawn in British Columbia.
No. I think what I'm going to do is we'll stop this now, and I'm going to stop the sharing. But I said when Butch sent that to me, I said, you know, we don't talk a lot about drones, and it's really fascinating. You know, it'd be great if someone could do some drone talks. If anyone's got well, Butch we just did a bit of a drone thing here, but it'd be cool to have some more information on different drones and different things people are doing with drones. So if you are a drone guy or a girl or whatever, just if you could fire me off a note and we'll maybe get you on the show. Yeah. Greg, let's do the questions afterwards, because I've got to get on with Hewie. Excuse me, Hewie's next. Hewie, do you want to take over and get going?
Okay, we'll do. The pandemic has changed technology forever. I'm Hewie Poplock. My thanks to Matthew Kitchen of the Wall Street Journal for the ideas for this presentation. As you can see from the cover page, I am showing a drive-in theater modern style. Although it's not a change that may last forever, it is a change that the drive-in theater in various formats and forms has come back during this pandemic. But our little screens have become our way of life. Our gadgets are our major view of the world. Our everyday display time has ballooned to greater than 19 hours a day if we include the viewing of a number of gadgets simultaneously. If this continues, a child with a median life expectancy will spend practically 58 years in the glow of laptops, smartphones, televisions, and whatever new technology emerges. Our easy chairs and couches have become our places of work. Work from home became the norm. Many skeptical workplace managers have been compelled to let workers go surfing from wherever they discovered Wi-Fi. While comfortable in our living rooms, logins for conferences on Zoom jumped from 10 million a day in December 2019 to greater than 300 million a day by late March. Zoom's fulfilled our social obligations. Between conferences, Zoom users jumped on the platform for all the things from family chats, cocktails with friends, online games, weddings, funerals, and of course, tech for seniors. All of us quickly realized how unsatisfying video chat could be. So doctors quickly named that vacant, exhausted feeling as Zoom fatigue. Your doctor sees you through your digital camera. Zoom fatigue is diagnosed by the exact same display as telemedicine and teletherapy visits turned the norm. The utilization of some types of telehealth rose from 2.1% pre-pandemic to greater than 84% today. Digital subject journeys turned a factor. Digital journeys are an option to convey youngsters right into real-life expertise, said a site from which highlights interactive tours of New York's Metropolitan Museum of Artwork. And I have demonstrated some of the many virtual tours offered by the Google Arts and Culture, and there is the link to that video. Going out has changed. Concert events and other performances, movie festivals, ebook excursions, and other cultural occasions all went digital too. Now you're in the front row of these events. Most of these events are also free. Video meeting and dating has increased. Courting websites added in-app video options, letting customers meet face-to-face or play icebreaker video games without having to pay for dinners or drinks. One site stated it noticed a 70% rise in video chats, and another reported 44% of their customers have now tried video courting. By a survey, one of the sites found that more than half stated they're more likely to proceed to make use of it even after the pandemic runs its course, until they find the one. Home exercise. With gyms closed nationwide and all of the food that we are consuming while at home, Peloton's active users more than doubled in 2020. Customers upped their exercise frequency. The Mirror, a large vertical display that permits you to enter exercise courses and dial up resident private trainers, stated it's seen a 5-fold soar with the under 20 crowd in 12 months. Exercise courses went online. Many people who do not have or want the expensive exercise equipment logged into courses through video platforms like Instagram, Stay, and Vimeo. Many exercise locations added streaming choices to their customers for a fee. Indications are that this will continue post-pandemic while raising prices. Move to new abodes without stepping into them. Many individuals needed to, or decided to, change their addresses. Renting and real estate companies started creating self-guided interactive tours of homes and apartments so potential owners and lessees might safely discover their future homes at a distance. We fled buses and Ubers for e-bikes. Mass transit ridership plummeted by as much as 96% in cities like New York and Washington, D.C. in March and in April. In the meantime, gross sales of single-rider electrical autos skyrocketed. We ordered in compulsively. To help our favorite eating places and stay away from grocery stores, we began using services like Grubhub and DoorDash to get takeout food delivered. Consuming out went high-tech too. When they could reopen, restaurant owners swapped germy menus for placards with distinctive QR codes that clients might scan with their smartphone cameras to get quick entry to the eateries' websites. Many spots have turned out to be nearly totally contactless. Ordering online and delivery to your car has become a norm. For their in-house guests, they now order and pay through smartphones, so the masked workers only have to drop off the food and drinks and wipe down tables. Digital funds hit new highs. QR codes have additionally helped facilitate contactless funds. Scan them in apps like PayPal or Venmo. Polls indicate that nearly 50% of respondents are updating to tappable bank cards, seen as a cleaner and sooner than inserting or swiping. We downloaded more books. While most U.S. bookstores have been closed, ebook gross sales climbed rapidly, growing by as a lot as 39% in June, in comparison with the year prior. This soar includes a 132.5% leap in gross sales of children's titles. While libraries locked their doorways, borrowing ebooks through Kindle and other apps has risen 52% in 2020. And watched extra TV. Due to the launch of the latest providers like Peacock, HBO Max, Disney Plus, and the reliability of an excellent previous Netflix binge, related TV viewing is up 81% year over year. That means American households watched 4 billion extra hours of TV in 2020 versus 2019, according to Nielsen. Gross sales of TV screens 65 inches and up soared 77% between April and June over the previous year. Movies premiered in our household rooms. While film franchises like James Bond and The Quick and the Livid shelved their 2020 installments, household movies like Disney's Mulan have been beamed straight to our homes to feed our desires. While Mulan bombed amid its rushed Disney Plus debut, grossing less than a half of its $200 million costs, Troll World Tour broke records in April, bringing in $77 million home in its first week. We went from discs to downloads. Throughout the video game business, gross sales of playable downloads surpassed discs for the first time. That's before the brand new Xbox and PlayStation consoles were launched in November. We tapped to purchase groceries. E-commerce shot up throughout the world. Grocery gross sales by way of apps and websites noticed one of the vital important upticks. In line with online analysis corporations, the variety of people looking for substances and snacks online practically tripled. As an example, June online grocery gross sales elevated to $7.2 billion, up from $1.2 billion a year earlier. We traveled in new ways. With worldwide restrictions in place, many people took digital walks atop the nice wall of China, round Easter Island's heads, or by means of the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam. Some 2.2 million folks saw photographs posted on one Facebook group. Facebook users can share photographs of attractive websites that they visit. Others hopped aboard flights to nowhere that took off and landed in the identical spot after a couple hours within the air. And don't forget the Google's arts and cultures. How has technology changed your life? I'm Hewie Poplock. Thanks for joining.
Actually, we've watched less television than we did before, mostly because we spend so much more time with Zoom and FaceTime.
All right, well done, Hewie. That yes, I was thinking about the armchair and the lazy boy chair there. I thought, oh, I spend too much time in those. All right, the time everybody has been waiting for, the big reveal. All right, Bob and Hewie, are you guys up for this now?
Where's my wallet? Where's my wallet?
All right, you better get your wallet out.
Where's my credit card? Where's my credit card?
All right, yeah, you guys get ready now. All right, so this is the big reveal. I'll play it now. Good morning, everyone. As I was writing this segment and producing this short video, I thought about all the things that we've done in the last year, and particularly in the last 2 or 3 weeks. We've talked about streaming. I hope you all are going to try that. We've certainly talked about drones today, and also we're going to talk about my new technology in just a couple of minutes. So I'd like to put our theme for Tech for Seniors as exploring new technology. I think that's one of the things that makes the show such a big success. New things. All right. Now, first of all, I have an apology to, of course, Bob and Hewie, who have been waiting such a long time, for 2 weeks, to find out what this new piece of equipment I've bought. Something they don't have. Anyway, I know that they've had trouble sleeping at night. They've been phoning my friends to find out, do you know what I have? And so the big reveal is today. Yes, it is. I'm going to tell you exactly what the technology is and why I think it's important we talk about it. All right. It is the time for the big reveal. Bob and Hewie, are you waiting? Now, I'm going to show you pictures of me wearing this device. And there's about 3 or 4 slides, and then I'll go on and explain what the device is. So let's have a look. Sort of an odd device, something on my face, something I'm holding. Looks a bit weird. Maybe I'm watching a movie. Could I be playing table tennis? Interesting. Yes, it's the world of virtual reality. What I'm showing you is my new Oculus Quest 2. This is one of the common virtual reality headsets that you can now purchase. Let me just talk a minute about what I think you're thinking about now. Just hold that thought. I'm going to show you some seniors that actually had an opportunity to explore some virtual reality, and let's see what they thought. And I think you're probably thinking the same thing.
showing you a video.
Okay.
Instead, you are going to be reacting to this.
Oh, no. My God, I'm not going to electrocute myself, am I?
A snorkeling mask.
Something you would have in wartime situation.
It's a space mask. I don't know. Or something you wear for the Ebola crisis.
When I was a kid, I had something like this. Only you could turn the thing and it would always change different things.
This could be some kind of mind control, hypnotic thing you're going to try to pull on me. I might not like it.
Something that you put on and watch a movie?
It may be virtual reality on 3D on these lenses.
You're right on track. What you're holding is called the Oculus Rift.
What?
The Rift.
Have you ever heard of it?
Never in my life. Never heard of it.
No. I've heard the name. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a rock group.
It's actually a virtual reality device.
Ooh.
You wear it and it feels like you're in other places and you can play video games on it.
Oh, so we've gotten this far now.
Knew they were coming. Wondering when the full-size naked woman was going to jump out and hug me.
So let's give it a shot. Go ahead and put it on.
Okay.
So the video clip you just saw was made in 2014. Functional virtual reality, reality that you actually can purchase in the store, has been around for about 8 years or a little bit longer, and it predates Windows 10. So you can imagine how far we've come since that video was made. Virtual reality for seniors is a big issue and one I think we should explore. Currently, virtual reality is being used for mobility and cardiovascular fitness, stroke rehabilitation, eye-hand coordination, Parkinson's disease, gait stability, and depression, along with a lot more medical conditions. So I think Tech for Seniors needs to explore that. I know very little about virtual reality, but I want to learn and share my experiences. Let's see what those people thought while we're having their virtual experience.
We're going to be placing you right in a villa in Tuscany.
Oh, how wonderful. Thank you.
So go ahead, look around.
My God, this is awesome. Oh, that's amazing.
This is pretty cool, man. I like this.
It's everywhere. It's like you're there.
It looks a little artificial. Oh, it's 360.
Wow. Oh, hey, I like it, guys. Oh, baby.
Okay, so we're going to now control it and walk you into this house.
Okay.
Oh my, walking without using my feet. Whoa, this is cool, man.
Wow. Kind of dizzy. Wow.
That's like, woo, that's awesome.
Hello, pretty house. Oh, even the ceilings are there. Wow. I want to live here. Feels not quite real. That's a little scary.
Just a few short years ago, the virtual reality technology and the equipment to be purchased would have been several $1,000s. But today, a lot has changed. The Oculus Quest 2 from Best Buy is available for $299. This really puts this technology in reach of most people. Let's see how everyone thought after their virtual reality experience.
So what are your first thoughts after experiencing this technology?
It's very close to reality.
It can get quite frightening. When it comes to stuff like this, I'm a caveman.
I'm impressed with the technology, but somebody else can buy it. I think it's going to be a tremendous thing. I would use it.
It's like a couple steps away. I can see where you would think you're absolutely in this world.
It is very impressive. How do they put this in? How do they put this in here?
So this device is being used for fun experiences and video games, but they're also developing technology for surgeons to use this to simulate surgery, for NASA, for outer space travel. What do you think about that?
I think that's quite amazing. Well, it would certainly be a real training. I mean, you would feel like you're in outer space.
I see many applications for it that would be very good. I see others that could drive a person absolutely out of their mind.
If virtual reality technology gets better and better now that you see that it's come this far, what are your thoughts on what that could mean?
People probably would get hooked on it, just like they do everything else.
Well, that was a very interesting video. Certainly some unique experiences for that group of people. You know, you have to remember, though, that technology was 10 years old. Such a huge advance has taken place with software and hardware in virtual reality. You know, this weekend I spent a lot of time, since it's snowing here, in doing research on the use of virtual reality in treating seniors for health conditions. And it is truly amazing. In the next clip, I want you to look at a company by the name of Verarama. This is a Scottish company, and they have been using virtual reality to add joy to the lives of seniors who are living in an end-of-life care. Now, they don't use the Oculus Quest, but they're using another type of virtual reality called the HTC Vive. And these are headsets that actually play Google Earth, and they've been coming into nursing homes or hospices and are taken on journeys where they never thought was possible. The company is enabling the elderly to travel back to where they got married or where they did their national service. Now, Bill Agnew is the chief executive officer of Verarama and said, "I was absolutely staggered at how much they enjoyed the experience and how powerful it was for them. We've had mountain climbers climbing mountains who had artists with dementia who have had to give up their life's work, and we let them draw, we let them paint, we let them sculpture. All of this is possible in virtual reality. The first time we worked in hospice, we had 2 doctors who were there to evaluate what we were doing. And both doctors broke down because it was such an emotional experience." In the final clip I'm going to play you, you'll see some of these individuals in long-term care that had the last time they were able to see some of the experiences they had. It is a very powerful clip. So over the next few months, I hope to explore virtual reality, see where we can go with it. I want to learn more about it and share it with you. Should be interesting. If you want to come along too, you remember you can always purchase a virtual reality headset. All right, there you go.
Wow.
Pretty powerful stuff. I could not believe how much virtual reality is used in treating people for medical conditions. Really incredible. So lots more to talk about. I want to thank everyone for being in our, those of you who are streaming over on YouTube. Thank you for watching the show. We'll see you next week at the same time, same place. For all those on our with us on the Zoom meeting, we will continue on now with Ray's segment, and I'm going to stop the streaming. However, those of you who are streaming can watch the whole show as we are taping, and it should be published within the next 24 hours. If you haven't already, please go over to Tech for Senior and subscribe to our newsletter. All right, Ray, are you about ready to go?
I am ready, sir.
Thank you.
So today I'm going to talk about Phil Spector and his very, very first song that he actually didn't produce, but that he actually sang with the group called the Teddy Bears. Let me just share my screen. So Phil Spector, certainly eccentric and a revolutionary music producer, and he created some of the industry's biggest hits in the 1960s. He died in prison on January 17th at the age of 81. They say it was from natural causes and was possibly COVID-19 complications. And as we all know, he was serving a 19-year to life sentence for the murder of actress Lana Clarkson in 2003. Spector added what he referred to as expansive overdubbed orchestral arrangements to the typical vocal harmonies of the day, and this new music offering was dubbed the Wall of Sound. Now, Spector is responsible for the success of several groups and solo artists over the years, but perhaps none more noteworthy than the Ronettes of Be My Baby fame. You see, Spector went on to marry the lead singer, Veronica Bennett. We all know her as Ronnie Spector, in 1966, a marriage that lasted only 6 years. Spector's A Christmas Gift for You is considered one of the finest compilation Christmas records of all time, but it had the unfortunate fate to be released on the same day that JFK was assassinated, with the result being dismal initial sales. My favorite Spector story is when the record Unchained Melody by the Righteous Brothers was released in 1965. Most people don't know, but it was the B-side of a song titled Hung on You, or as Spector liked to say, the throwaway side. But DJs turned the record over, something they can't do today, and started to play Unchained Melody, which infuriated Spector to the point that he would be calling the radio stations demanding that they stop playing Unchained Melody. Spector got his musical start in 1959 as a teenage singer with a trio known as the Teddy Bears. They were a one-hit wonder with a song titled To Know Him Is to Love Him, a phrase taken from the headstone of Spector's father's grave. Several remakes of the song have been done over the years. My favorites include Amy Winehouse, the Beatles, and the trio consisting of Emmylou Harris, Dolly Parton, and Linda Ronstadt. So what I've been doing now lately is when you see the newsletter come out, and there's my segment in the newsletter, in addition to including the link to the song or the video I'm about to play now, I also include links to the other ones that I think you might enjoy listening to. So let me play. Here we go. Yeah, that was when rock and roll was for teenagers and by teenagers.
That was very good.
What was the year of that?
1958.
Yeah, that's what,
Phil Spector was 19.
Wow, milk for cooking instead of coffee.
I left that at the end. I thought that was really cute by Perry Como.
It was indeed. Listen, it's now top of the hour. Thank you everyone for coming. We of course will be, the meeting will continue on for another 15-20 minutes. If you want to ask any questions, that's fine. Hewie, we wish you well, and our prayers will be with you. I know you'll be in good hands, but we do expect you to see you next week. And don't plan on doing anything. You got the week off. I told you that. Enjoy your week. Well, I guess you can't really enjoy going to the hospital.
I don't know. I've never done it. I am taking my iPad with me, so I will probably do some posting on Facebook. Not a lot, but I may do some.
I can see him doing a recording in the operating room.
Yeah,
No,
just do one from
I'm hoping I'm sound asleep.
The nurses rearrange the lighting in the room.
Bob, are you going to clone yourself 3 times this week, or what's happening?
No, I'll be busy next Monday doing a presentation for a club in Arizona. So I will be in Arizona, at least mentally.
Oh, okay. All right. And Ray, you got the snow shovel out and you're going to be doing a little snow shoveling?
I'm going to try not to, but I may be forced to.
All right. And Dewey?
I'm doing fine. I've got about 6 or 8 topics, and I'm trying to decide which 1 or 2 or 3 I'll present next week, but I'll make that.
Do you want me to send you a copy of the drone video, or what's your...
Well, I have a copy of the drone video. Butch sent it to me right away. I was just blown away.
All right. Very good. I think that's great. Listen, so for all of those that want to leave now, we'll be back the same time, same place. same ID, same everything, same old gang, except for Bob. And we will see you next week. Be sure and sign up for Tech for Senior newsletter if you haven't. And of course, we record this so you can watch it again and again and again and again and again, right? As the last, what, 43 episodes. Maybe we should make these in a binder or put a CD out or a DVD. What do you think, Hewie? And we'll get you can watch this for a couple of days, eh?
Yeah, I'm going to have to watch it just to kind of remember what happened in the last year.
Hey, that's a good thing you can do in the hospital while you're recovering. You can watch old shows.
Well, I'll take my iPad from room to room and show everybody.
Drum up more business.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks everyone for coming. And we'll see everyone next week. Now, we are staying online now for another 10 or 15 minutes. If anyone has any questions, just probably the best thing to do, raising your hand worked really well. If you want to, on the bottom there, you can see you can raise your hand. That brings you up to the top of the screen where we can see you. And that probably works out the best. Any questions?
Gary is the first one with his hand up.
Gary, go ahead.
Yes, I cloned my HP hard drive, and I have a desktop to SSD drive. In fact, I tried 2 different manufacturers, and my BIOS won't recognize them, so it doesn't complete the post. And the only thing I can figure out to do is disable the secure boot. And I was wondering if you have any other ideas, or
Are you talking about cloning your hard drive?
Yes, I've already done that to SSD, but the BIOS, the American Megatrends BIOS won't recognize the SSD drive, so it doesn't complete the post.
Take a look at a company in California called Apricorn, APRICORN. I think it's apricorn.com.
Okay.
And you'll learn a lot there. I've been using them for about 18 years, and it works great to clone hard drives.
Okay. I know there's nothing wrong with the SSD drive. I mean, it's I could say the only thing I could figure out would be to disable the secure boot, but then I was concerned about security issues. So thank you.
And I put in the link to Carbon Copy, the free version. I've used that on all my Mac devices.
I didn't have any trouble with the cloning. The problem is like I say, the BIOS just doesn't recognize the hardware, so it doesn't complete the post.
Have you tried updating the BIOS? Is there an update available?
I went on HP and they said no, and the computer's like 5 or 6 years old and they don't support the hardware anymore. So,
Gary, the exact problem was on Leo Laporte's radio show the other day, and they had the person had exactly the problem you're having, and it was the secure boot.
Yes.
And Leo Laporte's recommendation was disable the secure boot, and that will probably boot it for you. It's the secure boot that's likely the problem.
Right. But my concern is that am I leaving myself wide open for hackers?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
No, all that does is require password to do something to change in the EFI or something like that. Something to do with EFI. Yeah. It's only local. If nobody else has physical access to your computer, you don't need to worry about it.
Okay, thank you. That was my concern because they were talking
I think you'll be fine, and I think that's the problem.
Yes.
We'll go next to Murray. Murray, do you have a question?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that, I was so intrigued by that scanner that they showed a week or two ago that I decided, okay, I can't afford what they want for that, but I've found something, an application called VFlat, which works with Android phone. I haven't tried it with the iPad, but it may work with that. There is also a way to use it on a PC. You have to get an Android simulator or emulator application for your PC. There's about 15 of them available. I couldn't figure out which one to do, but I'm going to try it on
Visor is an excellent choice.
Which one?
VYSOR.
Is it free?
No.
Okay. What about a free choice?
BlueStacks.
Okay, try that. Anyway, most of them look like they're really designed for games. And I did want to suggest that for one of your security updates, I'd like to hear a vast take on that 0-day vulnerability that was mentioned. See what Avast has done or is doing about it.
Thanks
for
Murray.
future.
Thanks Murray.
Ron.
Hello.
Dorothy Henson here.
Right.
Bill James asked me to send you a message. I sent it in the chat. Please check it.
Okay, thank you so much.
Huey, you have your hand up.
Chris Rosinski had his hand up. Chris, do you want to go ahead?
I want to ask a question. When you were showing your new virtual reality device, I'm not familiar with these at all, but I thought I saw something on your wrists or on your hands with something attached. What was that?
Right, you have two controllers because, of course, you have to, because you can touch and feel and you can play tennis and you need hands, right? And so, in order to use your hands, you need those controllers. However, in the new software in there, you actually can control your hands. You actually can move your fingers and hands, but not all of the virtual reality works by that. Sometimes you have to use the controllers.
Thank you.
More on that as we move along. One of the things that you should be aware of is that these are standalone units. These are not connected to your computer. You can connect them to your computer, but when I say it's $299, it's $299. You get a computer, you get the headset, you get the software, you get the whole experience, and it's not this is not connecting to your computer. So it is an all-in sort of price that you'll be able to get to use it.
So it's Wi-Fi
I
connected?
can see right now you're going to get a new toy.
It is Wi-Fi connected. Yeah, it connects to your network.
You have one? I have one. I want to play with it. Yeah.
Roberta
had one on one time, but it's been a number of years ago and it wasn't
Dorothy, you're on air.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Roberta, unmute yourself. You have to hit the space bar. We can't hear you.
Sorry. I'm looking for a VPN for my Windows 10 and my iPhone 6S, possibly free.
In a VPN, free is not necessarily your best choice.
Okay. Which
Okay.
is my best choice then?
I can recommend Avast Secure Line.
And that'll go on my phone as well as.
It covers both your phone and your computer. Yes.
Okay. Is it a lot? The money?
You'll find a price on their website.
Okay.
For sure. You need to remember that VPNs are expensive to run, and if you're getting a free VPN, they're selling your data and they're selling your soul to make money, right? There's no such thing in life as free. So so as Bob said, be very, very wary of any free VPNs.
And there are some where you only pay for what you need to use.
That's true.
Which is much better because, for example, in my home, I don't think I really need to use it. But certainly, if I'm at an airport or in a Tim Hortons or someplace like that, a Starbucks in the U.S. or here too, you need to, or McDonald's. You know, those aren't very secure, and that's a place where where it's really desirable to use them.
Yeah, and all of the articles I've been reading, if you're just using your computer at home, a VPN really is not a valuable tool for you, and you probably don't need it.
Yeah,
I put a link in the chat.
Okay, my iPhone, I don't have a data plan, so I depend on hotspots when I'm away from the house. So I really need.
You definitely need a VPN.
Yeah. And the Avast will work on my iPhone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
I have my hand up.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, go ahead, Hewie.
All right, two things. One is that reality is staggering, but I'm not sure whether I want to get into it or not. I'm afraid that it would consume me. The other thing is the drone. I would love to have a drone. My fear is it crashing and now you lost the drone and the camera. And what kind of price range were we talking about? In the quality of the one he used was fantastic. What price range is he still on?
Yeah, Butch is still there.
Yeah, Butch. Yeah.
But
What price
Butch, how
range
much
was
is that? How much is the one that you have?
It was $599 US, and that is
Yeah,
the Fly More package. It comes with 3 batteries, which are, if you buy them individually, they're over $50 a piece. And it comes with a carrying case and then a charging hub where you can put all 3 batteries in at once, and then it will individually charge each battery.
Butch,
may I ask
well?
which drone you have? You have the
Pardon?
DJI. Which DJI drone do you have?
It's the Mini 2.
Okay, I have the Air and I have the Air 2.
Yep.
And they're a little bit
About
more.
a year ago, they came out with the Mavic Mini, and this is the improved version of that.
I'm following DJI. I have three DJI drones.
You know what they're like then.
Yes.
Yeah.
And basically here again, they're easy to fly. The one thing I don't think yours has the observation or the in it, but the new one, the Air 2 does. And the only thing it doesn't have is the side avoidance.
Right. Yeah. And so you have to be well aware of your surroundings.
I've been flying for about 4 years and haven't really crashed one yet.
JJ, do you have a license?
I have 2 of my drones are registered. I don't have a license to fly because I don't fly professionally. But for hobbyists, all you got to do, if it's above with 255 grams, you got to register it.
Right. I think the other thing that everyone has to consider as well, I'm not sure if everyone agrees with this, but I mean, there are more and more restrictions coming on these devices. And particularly if you live in anywhere where there's airports around you, and they often have no-fly exclusions or, situations like that. So you really do need, it's not just something you go and buy at Best Buy and then take off. You need a little bit of knowledge, right, JJ?
Yes, I'm on the border of airport in my area, but I can fly. And when you take off, it'll let you know that if you're in restricted areas. Like I have a hospital with a heliport about a half a mile from my house, so it tells you to watch out for that. But it'll let you know whether or not you can fly it. And then also they have GPS, so you have to have so many GPS signals before it even takes off.
Oh, interesting. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Butch, does yours have a camera with it, or did you have to add a camera to it?
No, it comes with it. It's a tremendous camera. Yep. If you can see me here, I can show you. There's a drone. Can you see the camera?
Yeah.
On the gimbal?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And when it's flying, that gimbal stays level all the time.
But Butch, I'm not sure if it's that model, but I was reading about the ones that are $2,000 and up, but they actually have a Hasselblad lens in them, which is like the best lens that money can buy. DJI is really a very good company.
That's one of the DJI Mavics, not the Mavic Airs, and they run a little $1,000 up. But they have 2 models. They have one with a zoom, one without a zoom, and they got the Hasselblad cameras in them.
Yeah.
Ron.
The Inspire too, which is very expensive.
Well, yes.
Ron.
Hello.
Dorothy here.
Yeah,
Bill
Dorothy.
wants you to know that text that he sent you is about a drone meeting information.
Oh, right. Yes. Yes, indeed. Now, for those of you, I'll put that in the newsletter, then I send it out. The APCUG is having a drone workshop coming up, and I will put that in the next newsletter that I send out. And it will be.
It's this week.
Yes.
Yeah, Judy sent out the announcement, I think yesterday or the day before, and you have to sign up for it.
Right. But I'll send the, when is it? Is it Wednesday or what?
It's on the
Wednesday.
day of my procedure. So I'm going
27th,
to
I
cancel
believe.
my procedure so I can go to it.
Well, the newsletter will go out. The newsletter will go out tomorrow. So in the morning, so you should be able to register for it before Wednesday.
I think your best source is YouTube. I bet I watched 200 hours of videos before I bought one. There's some very smart people on YouTube.
Right.
Especially if you want to set it up, YouTube takes you to setting it up. It takes you through all the menus, everything you need to know. Go on YouTube and find out anything you want to know about drone.
And everything else.
All right, listen, it is 10:20. I think that's the, we're about finished with our show. We've done our Q&A, and I'm going to sort of call the meeting to finish up.
Ron.
Thanks everybody. Yes, go ahead, Bob.
I put the information for the drone workshop in the chat.
Okay, great. And I will send that out in the newsletter tomorrow. Well, again, Hewie, we wish you well.
Thank you.
Yep.
And
I hope I don't wake up dead.
We hope to see you next week, and you can tell us all about your experience.
Huey, again,
Don't go to the light.
I speak first-handedly. When you get to the end of your recovery, you're going to feel amazingly better.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm not any taller, but I'm. And you're having yours done laparoscopically, correct?
Yes.
See, they cracked my chest. I was out of business for 7 weeks.
Yeah. All right.
God bless.
Thanks, everyone. And we will see everybody back next Monday, same time, same place. Bye now.
See you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye, everybody.